A lot of questions I get lately. What do you spend to live in this thing? Well, I bought the camper in cash, so I own it. So it's mine, and I don't have to pay rent. So rent is the biggest thing that most people have to pay every month. Monthly expense wise, you have to pay rent. It's mandatory. It's a never-ending cycle. You pay and you pay and you never own. I decided to pay in cash, own it. Even if I don't have electricity, I live in it for free. I could buy a shitty ass pickup truck, grab it, even an old Silverado, an old Ford F-150, and tow it away, and leave, park it somewhere else if I didn't have a place to stay. However, fortunately enough for me, I do have a place to stay. My family's backyard, big yard, never really used it. Pool was never even put back here. So, why not? That's where we parked it. We've moved it a few times in various ways. Originally it was parked this way, and now it's parked this way, so it's a little bit different. What do I pay for? Honestly, nothing, really. I mean, I live out here basically for free. The power that I use, I make sure that my power consumption is low as possible. I do fill my tanks and empty them. In this specific camper, my electricity that was originally in the camper, that's why I got such a good deal on it, paid in cash, wasn't hooked up. So I ran an extension cord in, and everything that is in the camper right now runs on basically one extension cord. Which is scary to most people, but for me it's not, because everything I use doesn't use a lot of power. I mean, sometimes, yeah. I mean, I ran an AC all summer on the same cord, power strip, etc. But I had breakers in between, so in case something happened, it would just stop it. Now I got a flat screen in the front. Laptop's always charging. Printer runs on battery when it's not charged, so I charge it, and then I charge my laptop too. So I just use that just basically on its own battery. AC still in here. I haven't taken it out yet and put the window back in. I need to, but I haven't used the AC in probably a month or somewhere around there. I charge my phone. Galaxy S7 charges in like an hour or two, and it's good for the day, so I don't ever have to charge that in here unless I'm making several videos with the light on, which now the light's on right now. And hopefully this is all in focus. Oh, no, it's hard to tell. So, another thing I'm running here, mainly like 90% of the time when I am in here, is my little fan in the background. I have a fan. I have my mini fridge, which I don't keep much in there anymore, but sodas and whatnot. And then my TV. And that's really about it, honestly. Other than that, I don't use hardly anything. If it's a really chilly night, I'll turn the. I have a electric heater that I used to use in my room, and I only have to really honestly turn it on for like 2 minutes, and then it's warm enough. And then if it gets freezing in the middle of the night, which I can't survive underneath my blankets, I shut it off, or I turn it back on, and then I shut it back off. And I have a divider between my room and the living quarters in here, the galley, as they would call it, and I close that door and turn it on here for about 5 minutes and then shut it off, and it's warm in here the whole time. I mean, even on like a 40-degree day, with the AC in, which hasn't, without the window in that I put in originally, or that was in originally, that would keep more heat in, and it still stays warm in here. It's well insulated, surprisingly. So I live in a Shasta, so I think it's a 74 Shasta, and I spend a lot of time in here, and I do a lot of videos in here, and I do a lot of computer work in here, and printing in here, and etc., and it just always seems to work out fine. My bed is so comfortable. It's a double mattresses, so it's warm. A spare bunk open now since the TV is in the front now. It's just crazy. But it really stays warm in here. So honestly, averaging it out so far, even with the AC running, I'm consuming with this cord to the house about $20 a month. $25 a month is what I'm guessing. Is what we've seen so far. And in the winter it's going to be different because I'm going to be running propane, so it's going to be a little bit less. Other than that, I mean, I cook on the George Foreman, which is electric, doesn't use a lot of power. It takes me 10 to 15 to 20 minutes sometimes to cook some food. Other than that, I mainly use just the bare necessities. I have a light running, the fan, mini fridge doesn't use hardly any power. I don't know exactly the consumption, but it's nearly nothing. The TV is LED, and it uses hardly anything as well. I've never had any issues so far running one extension cord in. So I run an extension cord into a power strip, and the power strip runs just the basic necessities with an extension cord that runs into the TV, and that's it. Other than that, it really runs nothing. I don't pay for internet services because my parents have Xfinity, so I have a username and password to log into their Xfinity hotspot, which comes with the service, so I can use that anywhere. And since apparently the people behind me somewhere on the other side of the camper, they have Comcast or Xfinity, it shows up as an Xfinity hotspot, and I click on that, it takes me to the Xfinity website, and I log in with my family's username and password, and I have free unlimited Wi-Fi no matter where I go. I also have it on my Galaxy S7, so if I'm walking down the street and my data's not working, if somebody has Xfinity or Comcast, it just automatically connects right to the hotspot. Boom. Don't have to type nothing in, just does it. It's awesome. So that's free. Basically, the only thing I use out here right now is electricity. Now, I still haven't fixed the propane underneath yet, but I'm going to fix that probably this week. When I get that fixed, I can cook on the stove. I can hook a 30-gallon, 40-gallon, 20-gallon, I mean, whatever propane. It's a universal adapter in the front of the camper, so I can just hook up anything I want and do that. I also have a propane heater if I need to, which I'm going to try out this late fall to see how cold it actually gets. Like I said, I want to do a lot of cooking in the camper, especially when it's cold, because while I'm cooking it also heats the camper. So I'm going to do that very soon, and I just figure it all out. But it's still a learning process, but consuming basically nothing. It's a stationary camper, so therefore I don't go anywhere in it, so I don't lose money putting gas in, nothing. All I run is electricity, basic electricity for just the fridge, the light, the fan, the TV, and to charge a device if I have to. Other than that, it doesn't cost anything, basically, to live out here. So I'm really grateful that I have a place to park it, and I have a family that is totally supporting my lifestyle for this. It's just awesome, like owning something for once and not having to worry about, oh, am I going to have enough to pay for this month? Am I going to have enough to pay for that this month? And then when it comes to food, I'm always in the house eating dinner, and if I have like a pizza or something in there, I just bring it out and throw it on there. I can store a couple things in my fridge and then throw it on the Foreman. Like everything I can cook on right now is on the Foreman. So when I focus on food that I'm going to eat for the evening, like before bed, like I get hungry at late at night. I decide, what am I going to do? So I always decide, what am I going to get? And it's always something that I can cook on the Foreman, because that's right now is my only way of cooking food in the camper. And I don't have to. I don't have to cook in the camper. I mean, I can eat in the house, and I do earlier in the day, but it's just a lifestyle I'm still trying to get used to. I mean, it's not like that, like I have to do this. I just want to do it because, for one, I got lucky enough to get a huge camper. Like, not huge, but I mean, I haven't even measured it, but it's a big camper. So it's just like the lifestyle of figuring out, in a lot of smaller campers that you see people pay $10,000 for, you don't get all the things that I have. I'm lucky to have gotten such a deal on it, and I love it. I have a front room dinette that could turn into a bed if I wanted to. I have a TV in the front. I have my mini fridge, since the propane stove, our fridge was snatched up way before I got it. I have a front door. I have a bedroom with 2 beds, which 2 more that fold down if I wanted to, and a nice huge bathroom. And the water hooks up and everything works really good. Hot water heater is still in there. So all I have to do is hook a hose up to the side of it, when I get the propane fixed, boom, hot water instantly. It's gonna be awesome. But for it's all said and done, I would guess that I consume about $25 a month in electricity, and that's it. That's all I spend to live in the camper in the yard, because we have a yard that we don't use, and this is my like trial to see if I can survive in an RV. And like I said, this one's way bigger than most of them, so I'm not going to complain. I am really thankful that I have a place to live no matter what happens now, because when times are hard or something happens or whatever, I still have my own place. And that's why I really, really enjoy being a nomad, and not necessarily being a nomad, but having my own place. And I'd rather live in this than an apartment any day of the year, any month of the year. If you gave me a $1 million mansion or a camper, I would live in a camper every time, because you have to really like decide on what you have and what you're doing with it. And that's why I love this lifestyle. So that's a story about my power consumption usage, which is like nearly nothing. So thanks for watching. So just to touch one more base, I really am thankful for what I have. I mean, I already said that once, but I'm really happy that no matter what happens, I don't have to worry about anything. I have my own shelter, my own place, my own everything. I mean, I already made sure that no matter what happens, I mean, I could just buy a truck. Or actually, I'm saving up for a truck so I can tow this thing around. But I have everything I need, and I don't have to worry about nothing anymore. And I can travel the country, and I can buy new tires, and I can just go wherever I want. And I mean, I'm just like so thankful that I have this thing. I mean, I really am. I just don't know how else to say it. I mean, I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube, and I didn't know anything about anything when I first got a camper. Now that I got a camper, I'm slowly starting to use it and learn it and get to understand what it's like living in one. But I can't complain about any means, because it's not a little tiny RV. I mean, which is what I plan to live on or live in one day. I mean, it's just no matter what happens, no matter where life goes, I still have a place to call my home and sleep. And that's all that really matters. And I mean, I hope a lot of people take the idea of this lifestyle to not have to have the burdens of loans and houses and stuff that you don't really own. You don't really own it. I mean, you just pay for it every month. It's not yours, it's the bank's. And then if you screw up, it's gone. You know, I just want to let people know that if you save up and you buy something, it's yours. You don't have to pay anybody. You don't have to do nothing. I mean, you don't have to owe anybody anything. Why owe anybody anything when you can just buy something yourself and save up and get it? And that's my main story about this whole situation. And I know I always go on about this, like I rant about it all the fucking time. Sorry I cuss so much, but life is different. I mean, life is beautiful, especially when you have so little resources and you consume as little as possible. It's the most rewarding experience in the world. I swear it is. I swear to God. I don't believe in God, but oh, I just said that, didn't I? I just don't know. I mean, when you have so little, you consume so little, you feel more than you would if you had nothing. And you feel more than you would if you had a million things. Like, I mean, I just don't know how to explain the feeling that I get every time when I walk into my camper. I just look around and see it, and I look at it and I'm like, this is mine. Nobody can take it from me. I own it. This is my place. This is my house. This is my apartment. This is where I live. And I'm not going to get evicted. Ever. Unless my mom punches me in the face and says, get the fuck off my property. But my parents totally support my lifestyle. And I really would be nowhere without them. They raised me so well. So that's kind of the update. I really appreciate everybody watching this. I'm just so still, like, even months after buying this thing, I'm just like, I love it. I could not imagine life without it. Like, I couldn't do it. Couldn't imagine. It's just perfect. To me, it's perfect. I mean, this is essential. This is a hell of a lot more space than anybody needs, let alone me. And I live by myself, so I consume hardly anything, but someday I will find a woman to share my dreams. Yeah, hopefully. But not really worrying about it. I can enjoy being by myself, but yeah. So that's the crazy update. So I'll be posting some food videos soon as I get the propane fixed, and I'll be making videos in between that, I promise. I appreciate everybody that watches this video. It's just like, to me, this is like the perfect lifestyle, and I know there's a lot of people out there who feel the same way, so thanks for watching.